Hip hop artist DaBaby has lost many more of his bookings and gigs that he has upcoming after his appearance at Rolling Loud Music Festival in Miami last Saturday. During that his appearance and his concert there, he went on a rant, which he said to the audience, in part, if you didn't show up today with HIV/AIDS or any one of them deadly sexually transmitted diseases, then put your cell phone lighters up. That was part of the rant. Another part of the rant said, if you don't go and drop on your knees and suck this and that in a parking lot or do that, it was definitely slanted towards an anti-LGBTQ message to his audience. Now, when I first heard it, it was one of those things where it's an automatic, people back in the day would say, oh man, that's so gay because it's so bad to be that way. And when people have these concerts and they say, oh, put your lighters up if you got $100 in your pocket, just to try and stunt. Oh, all the haters, put your hands down, all that type of stuff. And he equated that to being gay. If you ain't gay, put your lighter up. But his connection to it was that gay is bad. And it's one of those automatic go-tos for what's the most negative thing I can think of. And it pushes that same narrative that honestly, in most, I guess for lack of better words, woke circles, you realize that's kind of a dumb message. Where's that message really going? Who are you speaking to, and what is it you want to get from it, especially at your concerts? People go, oh yeah, man, I don't do that stuff. You know who I am? And many of them do that stuff and then try and hide it and cover it up and hate on other people. But either way it goes, after this all happened, once that rant made it to social media, of course, fans and media figures all began calling him out, I believe as they should have, for his rhetoric. So while he also made other comments that admitted that they were insensitive, but also you guys don't understand, this is one of the first things he said, you guys don't understand the rapport that I have with my fans. If you weren't there, you don't know what the energy was, they love me and all this stuff, right? But he did eventually release an official apology on his Instagram after he doubled down a few other times to lay his claim to being able to say such things without, any pushback from fans or people that just kind of listen to his music. So his apology on Instagram said, social media moves so fast that people want to demolish you before you even have the opportunity to grow, educate, and learn from your mistakes. As a man who has had to make his own way from very difficult circumstances, having people I know publicly working against me, knowing that what I needed was education on these topics and guidance has been challenging. I appreciate the many people who came to me with kindness, who reached out to me privately to offer wisdom, education, and resources. That's what I needed, and it was received. I want to apologize to the LGBTQ+ community for the hurtful and triggering comments I made. Again, I apologize for my misinformed comments about HIV/AIDS, and I know that education on this is important. Love to all, God bless. So the thing, the HIV/AIDS line came with the whole message about, hey, if you ain't gay, you're a good guy. So that's again connecting the HIV/AIDS and that transmission of that to being a gay disease, which of course is another old thing that's always been said. And like, oh, you wanna look out now because the gays, they got HIV and AIDS. So it was all encompassed in this whole thing, and apparently he's learning.
Yeah, it's interesting. I wonder what people want in these instances, right? Like a prominent person, public person comes out, says or does something stupid, apologizes, is reprimanded, by the way, right? Like he's gonna lose a lot of money from having done this stupid thing. And then like, what else do people want, right? Like he's paid a price for it, like literally. He's lost money. He's finally come out and apologized. And ostensibly, going forward, he's not gonna be this stupid and wrong-headed about these issues. Like, I don't know what else we're supposed to take from this, except for, I think people who really care about this type of stuff need to understand something too. This is a guy who comes from a really, a tough, disadvantaged background. That's a one. So it's one of those things in our culture, in liberal left culture, there are these sainted identities, right? Whether it be black people, whether it be poor people, whether it be gay people, these sort of identities that we decide are sainted. Well, this guy's from one of those sainted identities, but there's something that comes with that, right? Like this guy in real life was being robbed at a Walmart, killed the dude, and was justified in court afterwards, right? Like this is this guy's background. This is where he comes from. So, oftentimes people from those backgrounds are not as enlightened as to, the sort of sensitivities that come with public speaking as it pertains to marginalized and traditionally persecuted groups. And so what do we do with these people? Do we allow them to get better at these deficiencies, or do we just throw them out with the trash and say we're wiping our hands with them and never dealing with them again, right? I would hope that as a society, as a community, that we could see DaBaby losing all of these bags. And him, by the way, this is an A-list rap artist. Like, he's, one of the top headliners at these festivals. That's hundreds of thousands of dollars at stake for this guy. And I would think that he would recognize that he wants to stay A-list. And so it's gonna be smarter moving forward. I would just hope that us, as a consuming public, we can let these guys have the space up and move on afterwards.
Well, that's the thing. Well, he has to allow himself to. Because the first response is always, and okay, I can't understand it, but personally, but I guess I can understand it since I keep seeing it. There's a pride around being contrite, or pride around when someone responds to something you do, actually saying, oh, my bad. Instead, it's, you don't have the right to tell me what to do.
Right.
Now, what frustrates me is pro athletes, they get this, and many of them may come from similar backgrounds. They get this education and training on how to talk to the media. That's why every athlete after a game, especially an important one, says, well, both teams played well. I just want to congratulate the other team. Yeah, they beat us. Yeah, you may have seen cameras catch me on the court, call him a stupid MF dumb bastard. Yeah, we know the way athletes really maybe interact when they're competing, but afterwards they can't portray that on camera because that's bad for the brand, because people don't know you. So nobody knows DaBaby. Not no one, but people, broad general public doesn't know him. They know about his lyrics and what he wears and smile and all that stuff, and they like him. And then when you get disappointed by someone seemingly hate who you are, and maybe some of his fans fall within that group, you gotta realize that your fans, they only get a snapshot of who you are. So whoever it is you are, maybe you wanna tell them. And then if they get a wrong idea of it, you gotta be contrite. And if you need to learn, or maybe you need to have some handlers around you like these pro athletes do to tell you, hey bro, shut the F up, and then start learning. Do something constructive for your life and for your outlook, and maybe people will forgive you. But when the canceling happens when when these people that are in the spotlight don't take heed to what's been told to them and fix it. They just double and triple down and go, you're not gonna stop my pride. Now people hate you, and it's gonna be a problem from now on. Maybe someone else can take this as a warning shot to not go in this direction. You mess up, learn from it, and publicly do it, because you're a public figure. So.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.